Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. We are outside today in the backyard, and it's a very exciting day because we're starting our first seeds of the 2024 growing season. And so I'm excited to take you along with that. And then I have a few small jobs out here that I want to get done. We have a few bags of soil that we have laying around, so I just wanted to add them to the raised beds in this raised bed area over here. There's a poor parsley plant that just got demolished by when we had a really big cold snap the other day. And then my strawberry plants, I just want to get all the dead leaves off of those. And then we also need to refill one of my bird feeders for my little feathered friends out here. They've really been enjoying having the seed back. It's really weird. I hadn't filled the feeder for at least a month, and there was like no birds in the backyard. And then I filled it up. I posted a reel about that over on Instagram, and now there's birds everywhere, and I love it. So, but yeah, so we have just a few little jobs, and it's a beautiful, glorious winter day. It's a little cloudy. There was a few sun breaks a little bit ago, but it looks like the clouds are coming in. I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but if it does, I guess we'll need to change course a little. But I think I should be able to get everything done before that happens. So let's get started. So the seeds that we're starting today are sweet peas. I have some seeds from last year that I got off the plants that I grew, and then I have the leftover seeds from last year, and then a new pack. They look very similar, but it looks like this larger pack has some dark reds, which I love. And those will be going in these. I showed you last year we're doing sweet peas in little toilet paper rolls. And so I'm going to do quite a few, because last year was the first year I ever got them to grow for me, so I really want to try again. And then we're going to do some bunching onions, like spring onions, and then I'm going to try these white Spanish onions again. Last year my bunching onions did really well, but I was not able to get my white onions to grow very well. And then I also bought some red Russian kale, and I have some lacinato kale here, and I'm gonna start these inside, but I have a plan like later in, like when spring starts, around springtime, to plant some outside as well to see which does better. And this year I'm actually gonna try doing the onions and the kale in one of these egg cartons. I think that it's a really good way to use up these egg cartons, and I can just, especially with the kale, I can just plant them right into the ground because they're biodegradable, and I'll let you know how it goes. But that's the plan for today. And yeah, I have some seed starting mix that I bought from Fred Meyer. I have some left over from last year, so I'm going to mix it in this tray with some water, just to get it clumpy, and then I will be cutting these and folding in the bottom to make a little cup, and we'll fill this and we'll get these seeds started. I'm just going to start with the rest of this bag and see how far that gets us. Now I don't want to mix in too much water, so I'm just going to start with a little bit. You don't want it soaking. So it's staying together in a clump like this. That's perfect. Alright, and I showed you this last year, but I'll show you again. I'm just going to take the toilet paper roll and try and make sure that there's no toilet paper still on it. Get the little pieces off. And then we're just going to cut a little slit up one side, and then right across from that on the other side I'll cut up. And then we'll just fold these under. Like this. And then you can just plant these right into the ground. Right, so I got all these folded, and I'm actually just using these old trays from mushrooms that we've used. They're perfect to hold the water so it doesn't leak all over your counter. I am going to put these in my kitchen window back here. So I'm just going to do the sweet peas first. And I'm going to do 2 per little thing. The nice thing about these trays too is you can put water in the bottom and the cardboard will actually soak it up. Okay, so I have all of the sweet peas done that I'm going to do this year. If I don't get good germination on these, I'll probably try and start some later on, maybe in early spring. It takes a few weeks for them to germinate anyway, but also if I would have thought about it, I probably would have tried to soak the seeds overnight, because that also helps with germination, but I didn't, so hopefully this will help. This will work out for me. But now I'm going to start with my kale and my onions. I'm just going to fill this up. This egg carton. I've never done this before, so this is an experiment. And if it doesn't work out very well, I guess I just won't have onions up, or I might just buy some at the nursery, and then I'll also probably just throw some of the bunching onions into the garden directly. Alright, so I think I'm going to do, I'll do 6 of kale. Maybe I'll just do 6 of each. So 6 kale, no, less kale. I'll do 4 kale. I'll do 6 of the big onion, and then the rest will be the bunching onion. I'll do 2 of the red kale and 2 of the lacinato kale to see how that goes. And I'm just going to sprinkle them in there, and I can thin later. They make really great microgreens. As well, so when I get ruthless, I can just use the little sprouts in my smoothie or throw them as a garnish on something for dinner, or it probably would taste really good on a sandwich too. So. And I'm not worried about labeling these because I think after a bit you should be able to tell which is an onion sprout and which is a kale sprout. And also not worrying about getting like a proper amount in each cell because onions are actually really easy to separate. So I'm just sprinkling a few in each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 6 here. And the rest will be bunching onions. Let's see. I'm using my older seeds first, so these are quite old. There's still a lot in here, so we'll see. It feels really good to be outside. It hasn't been actually that wet this winter, but we have gotten a lot of rain and there's been a lot of gray days, so being out in the sun it's not even that cold, so it's like the perfect day to be out here sowing seeds and doing a few yard tasks. Okay. So these will be the ones that I'll put out, and I think I'm also going to do some direct sow later on in the season. Just so I can get through this pack. Okay, cover these up. I think just give it a little more. so these will go on my kitchen in a tray, and I'm gonna get these watered really quick, and we're done with seed starting for today. So I'm gonna take these into my kitchen window here, and they're going to hopefully sprout for me. Alright, so we're done with the seed starting. They are here. Oh, they're up in the kitchen window. I don't know how well you can see that. I might just cut that out. But now I just wanted to give you like a quick tour of what the backyard is looking like on February 3rd, 2024, and just show you kind of what, like, just the little jobs that I want to get done today. There's really not that much that I need to get done. February is a great month to get lots of small jobs done. There's really no rush, but sometimes the weather can be pretty nice, so, and there's more sun and it feels glorious. So let's give you a quick tour of the backyard and show you what jobs that I want to get done today. Alright, so here is the arbor with the wisteria growing up. I'm not going to do it today, but we actually have wisteria growing up through the lattice, which we don't want, so I'm going to need to get in there and cut that out. I hope it doesn't shock it too much, but I think February is a great time to trim wisteria. And then as you can see, our crocus are coming up. They're so beautiful. It's my favorite time of year when these are up. It's just, it's like that first hint of spring coming, and I love, they've spread a little bit back here, and sometimes they go into the grass over here, and you know what? I just leave them because I love them so much. They're just so cute and perfect. And then we're over here. We've got our two mounds with of the dahlias, and we'll see how that went this year. Remember, we put some peat moss on top of them so we didn't have to dig them up. Hopefully that helped. We had those really cold days, but that's really been it's been a very mild winter here in Washington State, so at least Western Washington, and so we'll see how they did. But we have our beautiful little blueberry bush that's got a new branch coming up, and it's got its little leaf buds, which I'm very excited about. So this is a job that I want to do today. I want to cut off all of these the dead leaves from the strawberries, both here and over here in my little patch that I moved last year. And, oh, and the tulips are coming up. You can see the little tulip next to the weed coming up there too. And I don't know if, hopefully they bloom this year, but last year they did not. So they might be on their way out. But I have this oregano here, and I kind of want to just clean it up, like cut back all the the sticks that are sticking out. But that's looking very good. And then I looked in here a little bit ago. There's a little bit of life from our garlic chives. Those will start coming up very soon. And then the peony has started sprouting here, and we have the iris are looking beautiful. The poppies, those are always up. And then, oh, and then this crocus here I actually planted. Let me focus it for you. This crocus here, last year I planted, and it's coming back up beautifully, and it looks like it's spread a little bit around, which I love, which is what I wanted. So the beds are looking barren, basically. This, I also need to clean this out today. This is that parsley plant that just got demolished by the freezing cold weather. And he just needs to be cut back. And I'll plant more parsley this year, but he did really good in that spot. So I want to see where else I can grow parsley in this garden. And then I've got my little mint pot. There's still life. It looks like nothing, but there is still little green leaves popping up. So I just want to cut back all the sticks. Any stick that doesn't have any growth, like new growth on it, I'm going to cut those back. These are my lemon thyme plants, and I'm not going to cut them because they've still got a little bit of green on them. We'll see how they do. They did really good in this pot last year. I just want to get those leaves out of there. And then cut. This is my variegated oregano, and it's died back. So I just want to clean that up a little bit. As you can see, all of the irises are coming up here. And over here, it's looking great. Also, with these beds, I have some soil. It's lawn soil, actually, but it doesn't have any grass seed in it. So I'm just gonna put one in each of these beds just to top them off a little bit. I mean, it's not gonna go very far, but hopefully it'll help in some areas. Everything's just really in winter mode and in hibernation, but we do have some regular chives coming up here. I don't know if you can see that. Regular chives here. We also have some in here in this you can see them coming up here. It looks like grass, but it's not. And then we're over here. This was the zucchini patch last year. This year I think I'm going to try some tomatoes and peppers in this area. I want to get some extra compost and put it in here. This is the iris that we took from my dad's yard, and it's coming up, or it's coming back, and it's looking really healthy. I'm very excited for that. And there is a few weeds that I'm just going to leave. I'll probably do a big reading in a few weeks. And our ornamental allium is coming up here, which is very exciting. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th year we've had it, and I love it every year. I love when it comes up, so it's just such a fun thing to grow in the garden. And then we have hyacinth coming up over here. They are coming up a little early. I mean, it's been very mild here. As you can see, some leaves were up, but the frost just decimated it. So I've got my little wine barrel here. I'll definitely weed that today and put some more soil in there. And then walk over to my problem child bed. I do want to get some more compost and put that in here. I covered it with mostly with leaves, and so we'll see if it wants to do anything this year. It's got I mean, it's looking healthy, the soil, but I need some worms. So hopefully they've been able to work their way up into this bed this year. And I think I'm going to do sweet peas here again on this trellis. But yeah, we just threw a bunch of the leaves that were on the lawn in here. We're just going to let them decompose. It's really helping with weed suppression, except for obviously the dandelions. So we like that. Less work for us. Let's see. I think that's it. Everything's just in hibernation mode. And I don't know. I'm really excited. Really excited for the warmer months this year. It's going to be beautiful out here. Actually gonna do a chop and drop and just leave these leaves in here to see if they'll add nutrients when they break down. So I'll get them covered with some soil today. All right, so I got one bag in this bed and one bag in that bed. I covered where I cut all the parsley off at, and I just covered all of those clippings, and then I tried to move some in here. I'm gonna need to definitely fill here, but we really need to redo these. As you can see, like, the wood here is, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but it's rotten under here and it's warped. And this last year, this part like completely like came off, but you can see just, yeah, it's just really wet in this area. There's lots of moss, and this wood has rotted, so it needs to be replaced. And all of the wood around all of this area. So I'm thinking I want to try and like design it so I can give myself a little bit more growing room. But there's a fence here, and the sun is always over here, and then this tree also provides a lot of shade. So I'm not sure what I can do except for kind of cut this path off maybe and make it just one long bed. But I really like the path, so haven't decided what we're going to do. Still trying to convince Jake to let me take up some more of the lawn, but not sure if that's gonna happen ever. Actually, you know, I feel like if we from this bench across to the fountain, that might be really cool to have like extended garden area. And it's not that much lawn, so we'll see. Haven't even discussed that with him. But I cleaned up a little bit of the mint bed. That I didn't get to the variegated oregano, but I think it'll be fine if I just leave it like that. I trimmed it in the fall, so. And then we filled up the wine barrel and all of the strawberries over here. Cleaned up for the most part. Got most of the dead foliage off, and looks like they're ready to go because I've seen a few new growth leaves coming in. So, but yeah, everything is looking good out there today, and I think that will be it for today. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do out here today is go fill up my bird feeder and fill up one of my little cages with this suet block. But that's going to be it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed coming along on starting our first seeds of the 2024 season and doing a little bit of cleanup around the backyard. There's much more gardening content to come as the season goes on, and I'm just really excited. It feels really good to be out here today in the sun and getting a few little jobs done. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up as it really supports my channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any more of our gardening fun as the year progresses. And yeah, I hope that you're having a great day wherever you are, and I will see you super soon.
Bye.